Welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. Now, we've got an SUV, no strangers to an SUV, me, we know this, but this one is a Cupra Formentor, which means it's sporty. That car has never seen a SEAT badge in its life. It's the most successful car in the Cupra range, and we're about to put it through its paces to see if it is a fully fledged SUV and does the job of a family car as well as looking really nice. Now let's talk about money before we get into anything else, because the entry level version of this car, the Cupra Formentor, could be yours for £33,191 from a Vertu dealership today, as in the day of filming. Right, if we're giving marks out for aggression, the Cupra Formentor wins, doesn't it? Look at that front end. So many sharp grooves and edges. I really, really like it. Obviously, the copper Cupra accents are going to be all over the car. Very, very nice touch. But this is a 2025 facelifted model. So what is different? Well, we've got a bigger, more aggressive front grille, lots of air intake, big sort of front end there. I really, really like it, and it goes very, very nice, the black and grey combo. But we've also got the triangular LED headlights in there, and we've got the shark nose. That is a new thing on the 2025 facelifted model. Very, very sort of shark-esque is what they've gone for, and I think it looks very, very nice. Going to turn heads on UK roads. Something that the 2025 facelifted Formentor gets is redesigned alloys, and I think they look very, very nice. Little bits of copper on there as well. And the V3 comes with 19-inch alloys as well. Lovely. And the class does not stop there, because at the back I think it looks very, very attractive. Lots of sharp grooves, etc. Big rear diffuser. But we've also got something on the facelift version, this light bar with the light up Cupra logo. And of course, Cupra is written there in the copper writing. Right, onto the boot space, because it's got to do a job of an SUV. It can't just look sporty. And good news, ladies and gents, because this is 450 litres of boot space, and that's pretty good. That's definitely not the smallest. It's mid-pack, I'd say, for SUVs. And because this is a sports one, 450 litres is going to be absolutely fine. We've got a little bit of underfloor sort of storage space. We've got a spare wheel under there as well. But it's not exactly a flat load space. There is a little bit of a lip there, but we'll forgive it. Good news is 60-40 split when it comes to the seats, but we've got a hatch. We've got through loading space into the back, which I really, really like, and obviously you can gain access from the back to the boot. And just to top it off, remote tailgate as well. Right, as soon as I get in the Cupra Formentor, I'm not disappointed. It is a very, very nice place to be, especially this steering wheel. So sporty. I've got a flat bottom there, and I've got this Cupra copper sort of logo staring at me. I've got lots of options on here. I can change my drive mode there with the Cupra option. I've got the start stop button there, and I have got lots of buttons on my steering wheel as well, which I like buttons, but that is a very pleasant thing. I don't usually go on about the steering wheel when I get in an SUV. They're usually quite bland, but that one isn't. Right, let's talk about the upgraded facelifted option on the inside, because you have got some upgraded materials and an upgraded sort of center console and dash, which I'm pleased to say, no hard plastic to be found anywhere. That is all sort of a leather effect, and so I'm told, a sustainable interior. This is sustainable materials, which is very, very pleasing as well. I've got that copper stitching all throughout the dash as well, and any sort of hard plastic, there's a little bit there, but it's actually designed and given a little bit of a texture, so they kind of get away with it, which I really, really like. But everything is very, very nice. Leather on the door, exactly what you want from a premium SUV. These feels very, very premium in here. Right, the redesigned centre console, let's talk about that as well, because we do not have a gear stick, we do not have a sort of little toggle here. We've got this little thing here, but it is actually really understated and really quite cool. I quite like that. That's my gear selector, and I've got a little bit of a copper accent there, and I've just got lots of little storage bits. Obviously I've got cup holders here, one small, one big. That's usually sort of main where your keys are meant to do. I've got a storage space here, not massive, with a 12-volt plug there as well, so that's fine. But I've got like little bits here, like a little tray here, another bit here. I've also got a wireless phone charging port there, but if you're not putting your phone there, you can put some other bits there. I've got 2 USB-C charging points. Look, everything is well situated. I'd say it's probably, there are SUVs with more storage is what I'd say. The door bins are quite small, and like I say, one large cup can be put in here. So I'm guessing I'd expect, considering this is an SUV and family car, a little bit more storage, but that's just me. Right, 2 things that really catch my eye in this interior. It's the seats. They are super sporty. They are moon slate metallic leather bucket seats. You can tell I've been doing my research. I think they're really, really nice. Super sporty. We've got the logo stitched there. We've got that copper stitching throughout. Full leather, and they just hug you when you're driving, which we'll come on to in a moment. Also, interestingly, Cupra Formentor is armed with Isofix in the passenger seat, which is really, really good as well. So you can have your child up front with you, nice and accessible as well. And good news is this is an electric seat, but also the passenger gets electric seats. Not always a given, but very, very easy to find a driving position, up, down, front, back. Very, very good indeed. I love these seats. They make me feel like I'm in a sporty hatchback. Okay, let's talk about display screens. First of all, we've got this nice large 12.9 inch infotainment system touchscreen, very, very HD, very easy to use and very responsive. I don't like when screens lag, and this one doesn't, which is really, really good. Interestingly though, I've got all my climate control on here. There is no buttons. There is no buttons for the climate control. It's all just via a very shortcut, well, very easy to access shortcut bar here, but I can also access my heated seats in there as well. I would prefer some buttons. Luckily, I've got some on my steering wheel. But yeah, everything to be operated on there. And good news is it's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So let's go through the trims on this Formentor. You've got to make sure you've got the right one for you. So we've got a V1, we've got a V2, we've got a V3, which this one is, and we've also got a VZ, which is a performance model. So this V3 is the sort of higher spec you can get before you get into that performance model. Now, what that actually has compared to the V1 is these sporty moon slate leather bucket seats, which I absolutely love. It also comes with the 19-inch alloys that I mentioned. It also comes with wraparound ambient lighting on the inside, and also got heated steering wheel, heated seats, and everything you can imagine. So this is really my choice. Before I went to the full performance level, I'd go for the higher spec, sort of non-performance model. But do not take my word for it. Get in touch with Vertu and make sure you get the right Formentor for you. Now, when it comes to safety, you are looking at a very, very nice car, because this was given 5 stars in the Euro NCAP rating. And of course, it comes with all of those safety assists that you can want. Now, as standard, it has autonomous emergency braking assist. It also has lane assist. It also has a driver alert system and high beam assist. But the V3 comes with an extra advanced braking system. It also has advanced lane assist as well, and it also has that pre-crash technology as well. So this car is fully loaded when it comes to keeping you safe. Now, before I get driving, I want to address that this is a mild hybrid. It's not a plug-in hybrid, so it will draw some power that I'll talk about a little bit more detail from the car sort of slowing down and that sort of bits and coasting. However, it's not a plug-in. Does not need to be confused with a plug-in hybrid, where it's going to use hybrid power at low speed. This is the mild hybrid, so essentially is going to be a 1.5 litre petrol engine to you and I. Onto the back seats, just as important as the front seats in an SUV. Right, okay, let's talk about room first of all. That's my driving position, my feet snug under the seat in front, plenty of room I'd say, and also, now I've seen some reviewers suggest that this has not got as much headroom as like a fully fledged sort of SUV with a raised sort of settee. I think this is absolutely perfect. I'm 6 foot and there's a lot of room there. the sloped roofs, for example, on the Capri that we did a few weeks ago, go watch that video if you're interested, that didn't have much room at all, but that is absolutely fine in my book. And again, you've got the very nice leather seats with the copper stitching, everything like that goes through to the back. Isofix points, interestingly, there's no zips or clips, there's just a bit of a gap that you can get in there. And make sure they're very accessible, no problem there. However, I would just prefer them a little bit more accessible. I've got to go into a little bit of a gap there. That's just me being very, very fussy. I like the Isofix points to just be there. Just be tucked away there, but that's absolutely fine. I'm being fussy. I've got 2 USB-C charging points, again good because I don't have to fight with my fellow passenger. In terms of storage, small door bin and a little bit of a seat pocket, but the good news is, oh, how dare I, armrest and 2 cup holders there, but the good thing is it's very, very comfortable and space is ideal. Right, the Cupra Formentor. Always wanted to drive one of these just because they look so nice on the road, and Seat, Cupra, VW, Audi, all that group make very nice cars. Now I know a friend that's got one of these and he loves it, absolutely loves it. Anything in the Cupra range he has stayed very, very faithful to, and I can see why. Straight away when I get in, I'm greeted by a very, very nice interior, as we've already discussed, but visibility is very, very nice as well. Nice big rear screen and absolutely fine out the front here. And I actually feel I'm driving something a little bit nippy, a little bit hatchbacky, if that makes sense. I don't feel particularly raised. I guess that's going to be a little bit of a negative for people liking an SUV, but for the person who likes a bit of a sports SUV or a sports hatchback, in my former years, I quite like it. It does feel quite sporty with these bucket seats and this steering wheel and this sort of Cupra badge, the copper Cupra badge sort of looking at me. I really, really like, as soon as I sit in this and I get going, I feel a little bit sporty. Now, just to point out whether I am actually sporty or not, this is the V3 trim, as I mentioned. Now, the 1.5 litre petrol engine that we've got in this mild hybrid gives you around about 150 brake horsepower, and the 0 to 60 times about 8.7 seconds, so not exactly express quick. If you're looking for a bit of pace, you need to go up a trim to the VZ Performance option. However, this is absolutely suitable. Anything below 9 seconds is perfectly fine. You're not looking to set records when it comes to your family car, but the 150 brake horsepower actually feels a little bit more powerful. It's very responsive when you put your foot down. There's a little bit of lag because this isn't an electric car or a plug-in hybrid, so the electric or that hybrid power isn't actually going to power much off the line. However, this is a very, very comfortable ride. I drive a petrol SUV. I've not gone fully electric yet. So this car feels very natural to me, and actually a little bit more responsive than some of the other petrol SUVs that I've driven. Now the good news is with this petrol SUV is that you're not going to constantly have to be filling up. The book will give you an impressive miles per gallon of around about 48.2. That's very precise when I say the words roundabout. 48.2 is very, very good. Real world, it's probably going to be maybe sort of mid 40s to low 40s. Anything above 40 in terms of miles per gallon for an SUV nowadays is very welcome indeed. Now, what is particularly smooth is this 7-speed DSG gearbox. It's very, very smooth, as you would expect. You're not going to struggle when you put your foot down. It changes down nicely to perform an overtake on the motorway, but it also gets you off the line nice and quick. And like I say, there's very little turbo lag. I've driven a lot of SUVs in my time, and that is my biggest complaint, that sort of put your foot down and nothing happens kind of thing. This doesn't suffer from that, which is really good news. A lot of you are probably wondering what a mild hybrid does in terms of the ride and actually contributing to a more economical drive. Well, it will shut the engine off and coast for you to add to that fuel economy that I mentioned of around about 48 miles per gallon, which is very, very good. It will do that at low speeds. So don't expect the mild hybrid system to make a huge difference, but it is there to make a bit of a difference. It's not going to be obviously as it's not going to be boasting a regenerative power such as a plug-in hybrid or an electric car. However, this does feel extremely smooth, and especially at low speeds in and around town, it's performed very, very well. That is the Cupra Formentor done. And what can I say about this car? Well, if you are looking for something sporty looking, but still very practical as a family car, SUV size, then look no further than this. This isn't the performance model, this is the V3, my choice, because it's not quite that sporty performance car, but it looks it from the outside. Fake it till you make it kind of thing. What is rivaling this? Well, there's the VW Tiguan, anything from VW and Audi and Seat. The Seat Ateca, which is probably, I don't know, maybe a more sensible looking sibling, I guess. There's plenty out there to rival this, but I genuinely think this cannot be beat for looks. But let me know in the comments what you think. And do not take my word for it. Get in touch with Vertu. Drive one of these. You will not regret it. We will see you soon for another car.